Faculty, please be seated. Good morning.
Good morning.
You can do better. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm Gretchen Kaufman. I'm the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost at Georgia Regents University. And it is my privilege to welcome you, the GRU class of 2018. I also wanted to extend our special thanks to everyone who had a part in making this day possible, the student orientation leaders, all of those in our first year experience, all the academic and student affairs professionals that have gone into many hours of work and effort for this. Thank you so much for all that you do. Let us show our appreciation. I also want to especially take this moment to recognize our faculty. They're probably fairly obvious to you, and let me assure you, they don't come to class dressed this way every day. So thank you, faculty, for all that you are. I began thinking about this today by doing what many of us do, which was not Google, but I did use my dictionary app. That counts, right? That's official. And looked at the word convocation, and that dictionary app had as one of its definitions a gathering of individuals in response to a summons. And I don't know if you felt summoned here today, but I would say that we are summoned. We've all been summoned to what is a wonderful initiating event for what I really believe, based on my own personal experience, will be a life-changing time for each and every one of you. We are all gathered here collectively and collaboratively to ensure your success. We are here to challenge you, to collaborate, to befriend you, and to launch you in another event that we will wear this same attire in just a few short years, and that will be your commencement ceremony. So without further ado, it's my privilege to introduce to you our president, Ricardo Aziz.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to Georgia Regents University. Welcome, class of 2018. And remember, it is 2018. Starting college is exhilarating, and it can be intimidating. Lots of us have started new things. Lots of us have been where you are. In a new place, new rules, new challenges. But remember, success is up to you. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to make sure you carve your future. Make sure that you forge ahead. You embrace everything that there is to offer at our great university, because success is entirely in your hands. Now, it can be, as I said, intimidating, but I do want you to know that we are here to help you. We as a university have only one purpose, and that purpose is your success. Your success today, your success tomorrow, your success 20 years from now. So we are dedicated to your success. We have an enormity of services that I want you to learn about, to use. We have a large number of dedicated professionals who are here to help you make sure you succeed. So what do you need to do to make sure you succeed and you become the class of 2018? One, sign up for 4 years for you. Make the pledge to take 15 credit hours per semester at least, and make sure you graduate in 4 years. Shifting the number of credits from 12 to 15 credit hours per semester saves you, your family, a year in graduation. Puts you out there sooner so you can do the next things, whether you want to go to graduate school or find employment or find the next challenge in life. It's a great program we have here, 4 years for you. Sign up, make the pledge, stay committed, complete the credits. Get engaged. There's lots going on at our university. It is much bigger than you think. We are all here for your success, but there's lots of things that are also fun, interesting, things that will help you develop in your life, help you develop as a professional. Get engaged. Lots of things there. But again, those opportunities will come to you, but they will come to you mostly if you look for them. And finally, do seek support. We all need help, always, at some point. Don't go at it alone. If you think you need help or you have questions or unclear, you're not sure, ask somebody. Make sure you get the right answers, because we are here to help you, but so is our entire community. So do get support. And finally, discover what's next, because this is a journey that you're in, a journey that, in fact, is going to be brilliant and fun, hard work, but it's going to lead to great success. But there's always a new discovery just around the corner for you. So do expect the best of yourself and do work hard to discover what's next. Thank you. Welcome to our great university. We are very, very proud of you, and you already are part of our family. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Aziz. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Carol Richley, Vice President for Academic and Faculty Affairs, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
I'm delighted to introduce our guest speaker, Deb Barshofsky. As you can read in the program, Ms. Barshofsky is a great example of the kind of full life for which a liberal education can prepare you. With degrees in English and educational research, she's been employed in a variety of positions at GRU since 1989. Currently, she is the Special Assistant to the Senior Vice President for Advancement. And that's important to all of us because advancement is the unit that raises friends and funds to help all of us here at GRU. She's a vibrant member in the local arts community, having served among other leadership positions as president of the Art Factory. Ms. Barshofsky is well known as a food writer, and she is actually a contributor to 2 volumes of this publication called Cornbread Nation. And when you have a chance to talk with her, ask her about dog sledding in Finland and spending the night in an ice hotel, all things that she has done. So please join me in welcoming Deb Barshofsky.
Thank you, Carol. I sort of wish I was in that ice hotel right now because these robes are a little warm under these lights. Thank you all for the opportunity to be here. I'm going to start off with my story. I was not raised by wolves. I was not a child star. My family and I did not live on a farm in southern Rhodesia that was repatriated by African nationalists. I'm not a recovering alcoholic. I'm not a musical prodigy, nor am I the disenfranchised offspring of Hollywood royalty. I have not given birth to multiples. I don't have AIDS or autism or Asperger's syndrome. I'm not a cancer survivor. I haven't self-amputated a limb to avoid sure death in a narrow canyon in Utah. I was not a member of the Manson family, nor of Bananarama. I have not had sexual relations with any member of my family, including distant cousins. I didn't flee Cuba on a homemade raft, and dingoes did not eat my baby. But I have a story, we all have a story, and in my story, food is a central character. Food in its most basic form is a substance we take in our body to energize us, to give us nourishment. It's fuel, it's gasoline, it's what keeps us going. But food is also identity, food is culture, food has meaning. I came to understand this at a relatively young age. I was in the 6th grade at C.T. Walker before it was a magnet school, and my teacher, Mrs. Darlington, gave me this book, Reflections on a Gift of Watermelon Pickle and Other Modern Verse. And if you will bear with me, I'm going to read you the poem that changed things for me when I was in the 6th grade. And it is the title poem, Reflections on a Gift of Watermelon Pickle Received from a Friend Called Felicity. As an agent of this university, I also need to give a caveat here. It does include a reference to smoking, and I would like to remind everyone that we are a tobacco-free campus. Right. Thank you. During that summer, when unicorns were still possible, when the purpose of knees was to be skinned, when shiny horse chestnuts hollowed out, fitted with straws, crammed with tobacco, stolen from butts in family ashtrays, were puffed in green lizard silence while straddling thick branches far and away from the softening effects of civilization. During that summer, which may never have been at all, but which has become more real than the one that was, watermelons ruled. Thick, pink, imperial slices melting frigidly on sun-parched tongues dribbling from chins, leaving the best part, the black bullet seeds, to be spit out in rapid fire against the wall, against the wind, against each other. And when the ammunition was spent, there was always another bite. It was a summer of limitless bites, of hungers quickly felt and quickly forgotten with the next careless gorging. The bites are fewer now. Each one is savored lingeringly, swallowed reluctantly, but in a jar put up by Felicity, the summer which maybe never was has been captured and preserved. And when we unscrew the lid and slice off a piece and let it linger on our tongue, unicorns become possible again. Now, that poem blew my 12-year-old mind. It was the first time that I really viewed food as something more than energy. In this case, I recognized food as a very powerful connection to the past. So I'd like you all to think about the foods you grow up with, the things that your parents and your families cooked every day, the things that you ate on special occasions. Think about what you remember. Maybe it was a sweet, sweet bite of your Aunt Darlene's coconut cream pie, or the aroma of your grandmother's empanadas wafting from the kitchen, your dad grilling steaks in the backyard, or a pot of oxtail soup bubbling on the stove. I am a product of a multicultural union. My dad was career military, and he married my mother, a German. My dad, this was in the early 60s, spoke absolutely no German, and my mother spoke no English, so I'm gonna let y'all figure out that situation out. But I am happy to report that last month they celebrated their 52nd wedding anniversary, so they must be doing something right, yeah. Yep. When my mom moved with my father to the United States, she brought with her a really strong desire to assimilate. She wanted to seem less different from her friends and her neighbors and the people around her. She learned how to speak English. Most of you probably are not going to remember this. I'm looking at a few of you who will. That old courtroom drama, Perry Mason, that's how my mom learned how to speak English. She watched that on TV. And she dove headfirst into American cuisine. So when I think of my childhood, unfortunately, I think of fish sticks. I think of macaroni and cheese, casseroles, and home fries, fudge ripple, ice milk. We couldn't afford ice cream, so we always ate ice milk. And my dad cooked these really crazy hot dogs that he would slice and put cheese in the middle, wrap them in bacon, and put them like barbecue sauce on them and cook them on the grill. They love that, and it just is the most horrific thing I remember from my childhood. We ate a lot of vegetables. They all came out of cans. Green beans, wax beans, lima beans, corn, it all came out of a can. I don't mean to disparage my mother's cooking because my mother's actually a wonderful cook, but she saved her best cooking, her German food. She cooked that on special occasions, on birthdays, on holidays. And I find it very interesting that on the days that were most meaningful to us, that's when she reached back to the foods of her homeland, to Germany. When we lived in military housing in Germany, we were fortunate enough to live there for 7 years while I was a kid. I didn't really appreciate my mom's German cooking because it was everywhere. German cooking was ubiquitous, and so were the foods of so many other countries because there were a lot of international families in the military. So running around, there were always foods from Japan or Panama or Puerto Rico. There were, international foods were everywhere. We moved to Georgia in the 1970s, and my dad retired from the military, so our social circle began to become increasingly homogenous. So I found myself pining not just for my mom's traditional German foods, but also for all those strange and wonderful foods that I remembered as a kid. Mrs. Almodovar's octopus salad, mofongo, udon, bulgogi, crispy rice cakes. I really began missing all of those things when we moved here. And I realized that as an immigrant to the United States, my mother was different, and I believe she used food to become the same. And I found myself becoming the same, and I turned to food to make myself different. Because food is much more than fuel. Food is identity. You've heard the expression, you are what you eat. That's a really simplistic way of communicating a very complex notion that the food we eat provides other people a very significant impression of who we are and what we value as products of our families and of our communities and of our heritages. Some of you may have read this book, Stealing Buddha's Dinner. It's written by Bic Minh Nguyen. She is a Vietnamese refugee who moved to the Midwestern United States as an 8-month-old infant. And in her book, she writes of being seduced by those 25-cent boxes of Kraft macaroni and cheese that you all will probably become very familiar with, along with ramen noodles during your educational journey, but also Pringles, Doritos, and if a Toll House cookie was on the table with her Buddhist grandmother's sticky rice cakes, she always went for the cookie. And it's a really interesting story. If you get a chance, I would encourage you to read it, because it's a classic one. It is a classic story about an immigrant's search for identity, and the food that she was eating really was a symbol of her really, really strong hunger to be American. Food is a really, really powerful communicator. Think of the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Probably not your best nutritional choice, and I know we do have one on campus, but with 18 grams of fat, 41 grams of carbs, and nearly 1,400 milligrams of sodium. I'm looking at Dr. Marion, who I know is with me on this one. You know, probably not our best choice, but by most accounts, a pretty tasty chicken sandwich. 2 years ago, that sandwich became a very powerful political figure. The story was that Dan Cathy, who is the CEO of Chick-fil-A, was being interviewed by the Baptist press, and these are his words. He said that his company was guilty as charged for backing the biblical definition of a family. And that set off a social media firestorm. It brought people out to Chick-fil-A's across the country, ardent supporters and angry picketers. It became a symbol. Suddenly what you were eating or not eating for lunch said something very important about your stance on the marriage equality issue. And I do not want to politicize our academic gathering this morning, but I do want to say that I always stand on the side of equal rights for all, but I also have to confess that I still eat Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I just sneak over to North Augusta so nobody I know sees me. So 32 years ago, I sat in this very same theater, and oddly enough, I remember exactly where I sat, and it's right there where you in the bright green shirt are sitting, because that was my most favored seat during the time that I was here at what was then Augusta College, now Georgia Regents University. I sat right there 32 years ago, and I listened to a similar lineup of academic leaders, university leaders, talk about the journey before me. I majored in English, and I minored in French, and I spent way more time than my parents thought I should down the hill at Minghua's, eating almond chicken and drinking Blue Nun in the middle of the day with my friend Andre Blanchard. While my parents disagree, I like to view that time as my most early food research on the evolution of American Chinese cuisine and the economics of the German wine industry. And lest anyone think that I did not spend enough time conjugating French verbs, I still remember all the important ones. Je mange, vous mangez, nous mangeons. I eat, you eat, we eat. So I have to tell you, I'm envious of all of you today. I really, really am. 32 years ago, we didn't have anything like the freshman year experience. Well, I mean, I guess we sort of had a freshman year experience, but it was independent study, and that worked out better for some folks than for others. But we certainly didn't have anything like this seminar series that you all are fortunate to have, this series, Food for Thought, that's going to allow you to explore the impact of food on society over the course of your first year at Georgia Regents University. I really encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunity to learn about the intersection of food and culture, because what we consume, how we acquire it, who prepares it, and who is sitting at the table All of that is a form of communication that is rich, very, very rich in meaning. I'm also envious because 32 years ago, we didn't have mobile phones. And while I can't see all of you up there, I know somebody here is playing Candy Crush. I can feel it. So, Dr. Richley, when we talked about this, I think part of the deal was for me to actually impart some words of wisdom. So I'm going to be very brief, which I hope increases the likelihood of those words sticking. Education is a push model. It is what people do to you. Learning is a pull model. It's what you do for yourself. So I encourage you all to be active and passionate participants in your academic journey here at my alma mater, Georgia Regents University, and also in your journey through life. Eat, drink, think, and be very, very merry. Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Deb, thanks so very, very, very much. We appreciate your words of wisdom. The next part of our program is the distribution of the class pins. Each of you will be given a pin by our group of deans who are here. You will be directed to come to the stage by the orientation leader, so if you'll follow their direction. We ask that you hold the pin until the end, and then we will all put the pins on our shirts at the same time. Your pin color is orange, so deans, as you come forward, let me tell a little bit about your pin colors. Your pin color is orange. Orange is attached to the GRU value of excellence, not a bad place to be. Excellence reflected in distinction, effectiveness, efficiency, enthusiasm, passion, and quality, all of which we expect from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. And once again, thank you, deans, for doing that first honor. And don't forget, students, 4 years from now, they will have the honor of also handing you something life-changing, which is going to be your GRU diploma. All right, the time is upon us. Are you ready? You got your pens handy? I'm going to say that I'm an honorary member of the class of 2018. Got your pen? Everybody? Come on now. Rip that paper open. You will prevail. I know you can break that plastic. Yep. Everybody got it?
That's the first test.
All right. You are officially GRU pinned. Congratulations. Now, we've spent quite a bit of your morning letting some old geezers talk to you, and I use that term advisedly, me being one of them. Now I want to give you the opportunity to hear from one of your closer colleagues. It's going to give me great pleasure to introduce to you our sophomore speaker today. His name is Timothy Custer, but he goes by TJ. I know that you have his bio in the program, and so I won't read all of that, but just point out that he is a native of Augusta, but left us, and then ultimately finished high school in Cummings, Georgia. But he returned here because he felt an affinity to Augusta. He wanted to play basketball with Diff Metris. That's a good goal to have here, which he has accomplished. And he returned to us with great spirit. I think you'll get the idea once you listen to him why Forsyth Central High School, did I get it right? Actually voted him as the senior superlative of most spirited. It's important also, though, he said a great thing, and you can see it there, and I think it so captures part of what we are about at GRU as well. He has a special interest in students. He aims to be a special education teacher, and he already is engaged when he volunteers for the Miracle League. It's an organization which helps students with disabilities play sports because he is avid about sports and bass fishing, for that matter. He said, and one of the things he said there is, I really like to see the joy the children have when they play sports and get to be included with everyone. Inclusivity, it's one of our core values as an institution. We believe deeply in that, and I applaud TJ for embracing that so early and so well. Please help me join by welcoming TJ.
Welcome, class of 2018. Y'all have been accepted, y'all applied to come here, and y'all want to be here. Well, I'm surrounded by many people, faculty, staff, professors, doctors, that also want y'all to be here. I'm here today to give y'all some advice, some insight, maybe even some knowledge. I've got 3 topics I want to talk about, and the first one is that somebody cares. I've had this prepared, and I was sitting at home yesterday, actually, and I get a Facebook notification, and it's a message from someone I have not talked to in a very long time. Her name is Professor Buffy Schmidt. She is a lecturer in the Whole College of Business. She sent me a message saying that she was so proud that I was able to come and speak to all of you, and that she was happy that I'm getting to do this, and I have the honor to be able to give y'all advice. So when I say somebody cares, on any given day at this university, at Georgia Regents University, there will be someone here that if you need to talk to, if you fail a test or make an A on a test and you want to go tell somebody, there is someone here for you. No one should ever feel like they are alone or that they have no one to talk to at this university. Everyone cares. My second point I'd like to make, it's one of my favorite things about this university. It is involvement. Everyone in this room needs to be involved in something to succeed here. We're all here to succeed and graduate from college. You need to work hard, do well in your classes, but also get involved. We have clubs and organizations, intramural sports. I play some intramural sports, and I'm a part of the Land Sharks, for every one of y'all that know that. And I actually play with a good friend, Andy Lucas. We got involved with it last year, and it is just crazy how many people you will meet from different countries, different towns, that just want to come together and meet people through playing sports. Also, I'm a member of the Bass Club. We got a good group of people that just like to go fish competitively and non-competitively. My brother fishes competitively for the school, and he's much better than me. He's been teaching me a lot of good stuff. But I fish for recreation pretty much right now. So involvement is the best thing you can do at this school. There's so many clubs, and you've got clubs like the Crew. You could become an RA or an orientation leader like the people you see around you at the top. The third thing that I have to say is by far, I believe, the most important of anything I'm going to tell you, and that is to have respect for your teachers and faculty, advisors, everyone that is above you. Please have respect for them. Be on time to class. They will respect you so much and help you throughout the semester. If you are on time to class, if you show up to class, and also if you email them and set up face-to-face meetings with your teachers, they love that, I promise. When they see that you are interested and that you are attending class and you're taking notes, you're asking questions when it is appropriate to ask questions, they will help you. Please do not sit in the back of class on your phone thinking you'll get away with it and you think they don't see you, because I promise they do. And they will call you out on it and tell you to leave the room sometimes. So, and then one other thing about having respect is when y'all come to class, be ready to learn. You don't all have to sit in the front of the class, but please be engaged in the learning process and show them that you care, that they are here teaching you, because they take time out of their day to come to a classroom to help all of you. And that's what they're here for, to help you. So please let them. That's the best thing you can do, is communicate and let them help you. And then, while you're letting them help you, we're all here to achieve a common goal. And what I mean by a common goal is we're all here to graduate. Okay, we all want to be here, and all of these people around me want you to be here. The thing about GRU is we have so many people from different places, from around the world, different states, and y'all all have one thing in common. You may not have anything else in common, but there's one thing, and that is that you want to graduate from Georgia Regents University and you wanted to be a student here. We're here to help you achieve that. And the best thing that you can do is let us help you, like I've said. And I'm really trying to stress that because y'all need to hear me on this. Georgia Regents University is not a place to just come to school. It's not at all. It's a place for you to come to class. It's a place for you to meet people, make relationships, friendships with people that you will know for the rest of your lives. It is a place for you to make your mark and be remembered. Okay, you want to be remembered here by somebody. You want to leave your mark. You don't want to come to class and just go home every single day. You want to be involved. You want people to know who you are so you can succeed easier. I promise it helps. This is also a place that will care about you. Everyone around me wants to see all of y'all succeed. Okay, Georgia Regents University is such a diverse place and an easy place to meet people. The school is a lot bigger than it looks, I promise. There's a lot of students that are ready to meet people, but y'all have to go out and input yourself in situations at events. GRU is for the staff, the teachers, the advisors. GRU is for parents of you students. GRU is for me, and GRU is for you. GRU, Georgia Regents University, is for all of us as a team, as a family, to succeed in a common goal, and that is to graduate from college. So as y'all enter y'all's first year at Georgia Regents University, please listen to me on this. Please be involved and let people help you. Do not be too independent. We are a family. We are here to help each other. So class of 2018, I wish you all the best of luck as y'all enter your first freshman year of college, and may y'all have great experiences throughout the year. Thank you so much. You did a good job.
Thank you so much, TJ, for those great words. And also, you all need to be looking at each other, because next year at this time, one of you will be up here as that sophomore speaker. So start getting your spiel, because you've got a great story to tell, TJ. Thank you so much. All right, we are now down to the finish. It is my great pleasure once again to have been able to preside over this great event. In just a few moments, we are going to recess out, so please wait until the faculty have recessed up and out, and then you students, we want you to gather for a photo, and the photo op location will be identified for you, and you'll be led by our student orientation leaders. So that is our next, and then also after that, we get to the lunch part, the President's Picnic. Yeah, and it's great weather for it. So immediately after that, come, have some lunch, get to meet some of your professors, and get started. Once again, I hope the message was clear today, and just in terms of that being a family thing, I want you all to know that as far as I'm concerned, you are mine now, and your success truly is my success, as it is all of these individuals here. So take that seriously, take it to heart, and let's begin. Thank you all.